Now, when you start working from home, you're probably going to develop quite a few bad habits. I know throughout the years I developed quite a few myself. And as soon as I changed a lot of these bad habits, everything started getting pieced together. Well, I'm Mike with WriterSanctuary, and today we're going to go over 5 things you need to quit right now if you want to be successful as a freelancer. Now, before we get started, if you can hit the like button, it'd help the channel out, and for more videos like this, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can always hit me up on social media, on Twitter and Facebook, or use the contact form on WriterSanctuary.com. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is stop trying to please everybody. Like I tell everyone, you cannot please 100% of the people 100% of the time. Now you can work as hard as you can to please the client, because obviously they're paying you. But beyond that, you really shouldn't put too much stock in what everybody else says. This is especially true when it comes to social media when you're trying to market your own blog or when you're trying to do your own business. Because there's going to be people out there that hate for the sake of hating. And even WriterSanctuary.com gets a few, I wouldn't call them trolling comments, but comments that aren't really conducive to what I'm trying to do. Like I had one the other day who went off about how writing was such a horrible career, but I pointed out how just because he couldn't make it work doesn't mean that it's bad. Everybody has their cup of tea, you just got to find what's yours. But when you start worrying about what other people think, it starts having a negative impact on your self-esteem. It can lead to self-doubt if you start dwelling on the negative interactions of others. And probably most importantly, learn how to say no if you have a house full of people. When I first started writing, everybody thought that just because I was working from home meant that I could drop whatever I was doing at any time of the day and either go do groceries or hang out at someone's house. But when you have clients who rely on you at a specific time, then you've got to stay home and work. Yeah, I tell some of those people who want you to drive halfway across the city just to bring them lunch, no, I can't, I gotta work. For me, that was one of the biggest ones to get over. Number 2 would be to don't fear change. Don't be afraid to step out of your comfort zone every once in a while. And I'm not just talking about like Context Broker, where you probably have your specific categories that you like to write for. In fact, I wouldn't have learned that I enjoyed travel content and business and marketing as much as I do if I wouldn't have stepped outside of my comfort zone. And always stay in step with trends and changes. This is especially beneficial in the technology industry. Things change at such a rapid pace, you don't want to be obsolete. But don't be afraid to adapt to the ever-changing world or the types of clients you get. Number 3 is to stop living in the past. Don't dwell on the mistakes you've made. Learn from them and move on. It's like I try to tell my kids is that there's no such thing as a failure as long as you're able to learn from the experience and not make the same mistake again. It's not a failure at that point, it's a learning experience. When I got my first rejection on Text Broker, it crushed me. For the longest time, I was afraid to write anything because I'm like, I'm going to lose it again. After 3,000 articles, 1 rejection, and it was like heartbreaking. And then it came to the realization that that's not helping me at all. I can't advance and grow as a professional if I want to let one mistake screw things up. So I took what I learned from that experience and moved on. Number 4 is don't put yourself down. Be confident and relish in your accomplishments. Now this is one of the biggest things that I kind of still have a problem with to this day. I'm confident in certain areas, but not as much as I should be. It's really hard for me to take a compliment, and when someone points out good work or they appreciate what I do, I start thinking to myself, okay, what do you want? I don't do that much anymore. It was quite difficult back in like 2012. Like for the longest time when someone said good job, my default answer was I try. Nowadays it's thank you. Once you start doing stuff like that, even the small changes, it starts impacting your personality over time. Then you get to the point where you're confident and you don't care who knows it. Now there's a difference between confidence and conceit. You don't want to be conceited, you just want to be confident. And lastly, stop overthinking. It's easy to get sucked into analyzing everything you do as a freelancer. Like if you were to proofread a certain article in Text Broker like 20 times before you hit the submit button, you should be confident that the first 2 times are good enough. It wastes your time and is unnecessary in most cases. But once you start overthinking things, your freelancing career kind of takes a hit. Things become less valuable to you because you're spending too much time trying to make sure everything's pristine perfect. And in reality, most clients on systems like Text Broker don't want perfect. They don't need something that'll win some writing award. And in most cases, they're going to edit it for their website anyway. So try not to dwell too much on thinking about the project. Just do it. So what are some things that you changed as a freelancer? Leave in the comments down below. Personally, I'm still working on the confident part, but for the most rest of it, I think I got it down packed. Especially the don't fear change one, because I like learning new things, and I am willing to explore pretty much any topic, unless it has to deal with Apple. I tell you, when you have imposter syndrome, it makes it really difficult to accept compliments. So it is what it is. But if you enjoyed the video, hit the like button. If you want to see more videos about textbook freelance writing, WordPress, or anything else I cover, hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. I think that's going to do it for me today. I'll see you on the live stream tonight, or I'll see you on a video on Wednesday.